L'Artisan Parfumeur is a fragrance house of over 40 years that appears to have the honor of the title First Niche Perfumery. Apparently, chemist Jean Laporte started up the endeavor after successfully meeting a challenge to create a banana-scented fragrance to match a costume of the same fruit for some gala event, and subsequently followed through with fragrances based around grapefruit and vanilla. Hello beautiful people, it's Trina and welcome back to my channel. Now I suppose it would depend on how you define niche, but L'Artisan Parfumeur is certainly a brand that is known for producing quality blends created by well-trained and indeed prolific noses. There are many from the brand that I adore and also many I've not yet sampled. I've talked about one of my favorites in an earlier video. I'll link to it up here somewhere. Today I'll share with you a set of 3 from the 2011 holiday collection. It consists of 3 fragrances, each in 15 ml bottles of both EDP and EDT concentrations, and came in a lovely box, but I've since given that away. I didn't get this set back in 2011, however. It was one of my secondhand Meducati finds, and I'm planning to use these up while on holiday here at my family home in Canada. So let's start with the oldest of the 3, Mure et Musc, a fruity floral unisex EDT fragrance that launched way back in 1978. The nose behind this fragrance is Jean-François Laporte himself. Here are the notes. Undoubtedly, the earlier renditions of this fragrance are going to have been better ones, since real musk and oak moss are now a big no-no. I don't know to what degree this old bottle has anything authentic, but hey, I don't say nay to anything synthetic in my perfume, especially when no harm done to animals or the environment is the result. Real or synthetic, musk is a scent I tend to be anosmic to, and I tend not to be a fan of the soapy variety. This one, sadly, for me is a wee bit soapy. It's very clean, not very animalic. The blackberry and citrus notes are fizzy and faint, but can be sniffed out if you search for them. The basil breaks up the sweetness of the berries, and oak moss softens the musk. It dries down pretty quickly into a soft, muted, slightly powdery and herbal skin scent, and I wouldn't say it was sexy, but I believe there are some out there that might think it so. Perhaps on the right person, maybe. I'll say it's a crowd pleaser for those who get close enough to the wearer to perceive it. And despite its 1970s launch, this simple, charming, and uplifting fragrance does not smell dated at all to me. I think you can definitely still wear it today. Though I do feel this is a classic, I also believe that there are more interesting and better things out there now. However, if you do get this one heavily discounted and you appreciate a tart, fruity barbershop musk scent that easily works for all genders, this might be your jam. And go for the older reformulation if you can find it there. Always better, in my opinion. Otherwise, perhaps the Body Shop's White Musk might be a better choice, value-wise. Not as refined, but meets a craving for the musk, I'd say. There is an extreme version of Mure et Musc, which is an EDP with blackcurrant. I'd love to sniff that one. Next, we have La Chasse aux Papillons, a unisex EDT floral fragrance launched in 1999, and the nose is Anne Flippo, who is a master perfumer known for her floral compositions. The L'Artisan Parfumeur website describes this scent as armfuls of white flowers flooded with sunlight on a summer's day. Here are the notes. Now this one is mainly about a calm, romantic, fresh, and green tuberose that opens with a gentle linden blossom vibe and a touch of luscious jasmine and gardenia. All the citrus trees have been bundled together at the top very faintly, and the dry down is smooth, sweet, and rather luminous. There's a very sheer quality and serene feel to the scent, and I feel it's also perfect for a cooler spring day, or a cooler late summer day, I'd say, right now. The name of this perfume is perfect. I can easily imagine sitting in a recliner in a stunning backyard spring garden while children in the neighborhood's adjacent place are chasing after butterflies in nets, laughter included. Just chuck in your favorite impressionist outdoor floral painting from the likes of Renoir, Monet, Matisse, or Degas, and you might get a sense of this fragrance. Perhaps this is what fairies or forest sprites smell like, or maybe Julie Andrews in a clean and crisp frock running in a meadow.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Performance is not great at all with this one either. It lasts for a few hours, starting with a medium to short projection and settles into a skin scent. At the time of its creation, this must have gathered more love from the perfume community. We're talking pre-social media community, mind. But today, although this scent is still a very beautiful and serene bouquet of white florals, I might pass on it even if performance were not a problem. For me, this fragrance is sadly as easily forgotten in time as it is in space, but maybe that's what makes it beautiful. It's undoubtedly pleasant and delightful. There's an extreme version of this fragrance in an EDP concentration 2, which includes the addition of bay rose and saffron, perhaps making it feel more concentrated and last longer. Just assuming. Comment below if you know. I've also heard people reference Jo Malone's Wild Bluebell as a slightly sweeter and spicier fragrance very similar to this. Jo scents are generally poor performers as well, so at least that part makes sense. Finally, in this set is Nuit de Tubereuse, launched in 2010. This one too is designed to appeal to all genders, and the nose behind this is the infamous Bertrand Duchaufour. Here are the notes. Nuit de Tubereuse is an EDP and is notably more concentrated than the other two. Sadly, I'm not sure if this one is in production anymore, as I didn't see it on the company website, but I'm sure you could dig it up somewhere. It starts off strong and powdery with a blast of slightly incensed tuberose. Tuberose is definitely the star here, so obviously if you don't like the smell of that flower, nope, you're not going to like this. Tuberose has a very milky or creamy texture to it, so having a little spice to it, like the pink pepper, cloves, and maybe a bit of cardamom in here too, balances out or even subdues that milkiness. The opening is, it's a tinge bitter and green, and the end is definitely musky, but the heart and the main note all the way through is that heady white honeyed flower. A smidge of rose, perhaps ylang ylang and angelica, and a sea breeze. It's very airy, and all the resins in the wood give it a depth and keep it fixed. And there's mango in here too, which gives it a slight tropical feel, but the camphorous edge of this tuberose keeps it from getting too hot. Maybe that's why it's Nuit de Tubereuse instead of Jour de Tubereuse. I put a slightly earlier bottle design on the screen here because I think it's lovely. Parfumeur did that etching a few years back with some of its fragrances, but sadly, they don't do that anymore. On me, this lasts about 6 hours and has moderate projection. It's a serious and seductive evening fragrance in my view, and good for fans of this flower for sure. Okay, that is it for today, my lovelies. Catch you in the next video. Scent Gourmand, signing out. Bye-bye.